Hello! Now we have reached to the boring stuff, the technical details. Yes, this is a design lecture, but in my opinion, you need to know the basics before you can start doing design. It's like a web page or an app. It can be really beautiful to look at and user-friendly, but it cannot be all that without background systems. You need to know what to program and what to code. To what purpose, what does, if clicked, what and why. And good result comes if designer knows what are the possibilities overall and also what are the professional capabilities of their workers. And so on. It's like a cooperative organism. Same principle is here. You need to know what you are offering to client and you need to know what and how is done, so there will not be a possibility that what looks nice on screen cannot be made into reality or can be made to reality, but the price is so high that client refuses. That is why we are starting with technical background. So what we have in this section, we see what are the difference between cutter design and printer design. We watch how to scale, what is scale, what to do with photos, shapes, fonts, a little bit of vector file background, and also how to create files that cutter understands. This includes outlines of objects and also outlines of texts. We will see how the material size affects our doings, and I will show you some tricks of what you have to understand with transparent material. You need to know, is your design a cutter design or a print design or both? What are the differences? What are the ups and downs? As you see in this picture, there is an actually mixed together a printed and cutted designs. One color, those white texts, are simply cutted from manufacturers' white rolled mid-term materials, like this one. But photo with food is printed. So if you have text or text with one color background, or maybe with a design twist where only one of or a few details are in other color with those one color text, then it is easier to simply cut them. If you have any colors, shades, color changes from one to another, this is printed design. If your work is time sensitive, and usually over half of jobs are, I needed them yesterday. If it is a text, just cut it from one color vinyl and it's done. Printing requires an ink drying time. Yes, modern printers are coming with quick dry, but still I recommend not rushing. If you have a small sticker only, you might do not need the over laminate for protection, but I would still recommend it to put it anyway. If your design is large scale, always use over laminate. This protects your printed layer. Basically, you have a white material where your print is applied, and then second layer a clear film on top of that. If you put the over laminate too early, means that there is a big possibility that it will start to peel off in the near future. Unfortunately, this cannot be repaired, and this means you have to do it all again. Well, first remove the old one, print new one, and apply new one. Simply because you did not want to wait for a little bit more. If texts or icons or shapes, then I would recommend to do it also from one colored rolled material. If you wish to keep your ecological footprint in minimum, then it is not reasonable to make full prints all the time. Although there are coming new eco-friendly materials, then at this point most of vinyl materials are not that green products. So use it rationally. You do not need to print small texts, as you use a lot more material with this than in cutted version. Maybe there is a close enough pre-made factory color vinyl somewhere already. Yes, it needs a bit more handwork, but you use less materials and it's good for the environment. This is why you need to know which design you are going to do. If you have something with print, to all design file with print settings. This means CMYK colors and 300 dots per inch image settings. Yes, this will make your design file quite big when you save it, but it is more easier for you. If you firstly do everything with screen RGB settings and see it later that you have to change every detail in separate to get it to print the colors. This is just really annoying and time consuming. With annoying things, I remember one important reminder for you. Save file frequently. Every designer knows that in one design process you have sometimes, dozens of changes. Keep the design versions also saved. Do not save on top of old version. Many times we have made a design solution where client wanted to change this, then that, and after 77 changes, decides that he liked the first one version more. Then it's good just to open the first file. And yes, again, please save also when you are designing. Simply make a quick save. There is a lot of time, me too, when you are designing and at one stage your computer decides that it doesn't want to cooperate today. Whole day's work is lost. Really annoying, really annoying, especially if you have Windows computers. Then you know. So save. Okay, back to the print and cut design subject. It might be a bit confusing. You actually need a cutter design every time you are doing something with vinyl materials, as you must get it out from the wet rolled surface. Yes, but you have a cutter design, then there is basically no difference what settings you are using. You can make it in RGB and 72 dots per inch settings, what is quite small capacity file to save compared to print settings. At first you have few files, but after some time you will have 100 of them, and this makes a difference. Only thing you need to avoid is design program's own web settings for web designs, because these are measured in pixels and this cannot be converted to vinyl creation in reasonable amount of work. You need millimeters or inches or some other your own local measuring scale. Also, problem with print and screen setting is that even you are designing or a print design and using print settings, this means CMYK colors, then you are send it via email to your client and they are looking it on their screens. Then it is converted automatically to RGB colors. This actually changes the color tone. So be careful. Even if your screen contrast or lighting is different than your client's, you actually see a different shade of that color. So if possible, check it together in your computer or your laptop. Do not assume. For example, I have had many times asked, make it in red, this average red, like red Ferrari, Actually, I do not know, as Ferrari red in reality is with a touch of orange and the camera changes it to this red perfection as we all have used to seen. Also, it differs what your taste in red color is. After many years of working and experience, I know that they are thinking about 3M50 series 475 color code red. But if I would take the Ferrari color print code, it would not be this red everyone presumes is Ferrari red. So be careful. Do not assume. Ask, double check. It is easier for everybody in the long run. Here is a cutter design example for you about this food picture car I showed you earlier. This is what this job's actual cutter file looks like. This cut is made into vial excessive material is weeded and this design remains. With application tape, it's transferred and taped to the car.